Fox may be buying TikTok. Actually, it seems to be buying TikTok. Donald Trump came out and said, yeah, they're buying TikTok, which has some people a little bit concerned of a sort of MAGA monopoly that's not good for MAGA, because it seems like Fox is just good for Fox, right? Like Fox is MAGA today, but they could be Rhino tomorrow. They're kind of whichever way the wind blows, whichever way it's going to work for them. Let me show you the headline here. Oopsie daisy. What's going on? Can I get this up? Let me see. There. Well, what do you know? Charlotte, by the way, thank you for your generosity. Deborah as well. I want to get to all of your comments. Look, this is Fox trying to figure out what their future is going to be, because Lachlan's in charge, right? Like they decided that whole family dispute. Lachlan is running the show, and Lachlan's going to figure out how to bring his dad's company into the future, which is not easy, because as we have discussed, the future is not in cable TV. And so it's over here. And so he's looking at TikTok and thinking, okay, it might be over there too. How can I be part of that? And so maybe there's a little pressure campaign. I don't know. But apparently, according to Donald Trump, guess what? Fox is going to be part of this. Don't forget, TikTok was like on its last legs. It basically was going to get banned. ByteDance is the Chinese company that owns it. Even though there's a lot of American investors in ByteDance, it was still very much a sticking point amid security concerns. And I will tell you, I share those security concerns. So I'm over on TikTok, and I did this in part. Well, Charlie kind of inspired me, I'll tell you, because Charlie had this view that we should just be everywhere. Like, who cares? If you want to reach people, you just have to sort of, sometimes suck it up and be on every platform, including a platform controlled by the Chinese. And so anyway, we put a lot of our content out there, and I have something like 330,000 followers over there. But what's amazing is I've twice tried to get approved, twice, for verification status. Where you get that like blue check mark. I always tell you guys, be really, really careful. Don't interact with things that don't have the blue check mark. And I can't get it. And so they ask you to submit all these like articles about yourself, right? And so like I've got 2 from the New York Times and one from People magazine. It's a profile on me. I've got another one from the Financial Times. I tried that. Last time around, I did like Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, New York Times, and another People magazine. I've got Salon, I've got Business Insider. What do you want, guys? They keep coming back and they're like, we can't verify you because these publications are not prestigious enough. Direct quote, not prestigious enough. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on the New York Times, okay? Should we go for the LA Times? What do you want? Like, right now I'm in a situation where I've got 330,000 people, and then I get all these other accounts that are like stealing my content and posting it as though they're Trish. And how would you know, right? So they're putting their entire community at risk because what? They don't want to verify Trish Regan. Am I that scary? I did say some things about tariffs, and I have in the past said a few things about China. Now, maybe that's a bit of a sticking issue. I don't know. But this company, maybe it's good that Fox comes in, because I can call some friends over there, if I still have any in management, and say, can you help me out? But it's weird. Here is Donald Trump talking with Peter Doocy about the TikTok thing, because he told on the air, he actually said, yeah, the Murdochs are going to have a stake in this. Watch.
I downloaded TikTok for the first time. Would you just help me make my first one really quick?
Sure, go ahead.
It's going to be really quick. It'll be part of the show. I'm going to just open it up. My most recent, no followers, no posts.
Well, that's not good.
Well, let's see how we do. So, Peter Doocy here in the diplomatic reception room, where it sounds like President Trump is pretty close to saving TikTok. Do I have that right?
And I'm working very hard to do it, and also to save Peter's show.
No.
Oh, man.
It's cute. I would say that the fear is on this one that you can't forget that the Murdochs are in this for a business reason, okay? The difference, between Turning Point, which was nonprofit, and Fox News is one is nonprofit, one's for profit. I get it. And Fox is going to do what's best for Fox. And so do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, what they did to Charlie for 3 years, what they did to the President of the United States, how they reacted after J6. I'm going to get to that in a second, okay? But first, here's the hits, runs, and errors. Rupert Murdoch privately told executives working on the deal for the video sharing app that he wanted to own a small stake in the company if an agreement could be reached, according to a person with direct knowledge of the matter. This person noted that such an investment may not be among the bigger holdings of the new entity. Okay, so he's just going to have a small little part of it, hopefully, until he goes in to buy the whole thing, right? And then it goes on. Rupert Murdoch is named as a defendant in a defamation lawsuit that Trump filed this summer against the Wall Street Journal publisher Dow Jones and parent company News Corp. Don't forget, remember, the Journal published that so-called letter that Donald Trump allegedly signed to one Jeffrey Epstein that was crude, etc., for a birthday album. And Donald Trump's like, I never signed that. What the heck are you doing? And so then he went and sued Dow Jones and the Wall Street Journal. And you've got the Wall Street Journal saying, no, we have full confidence in the accuracy of our reporting and we're going to defend that. So it's a little bit strange that this is all going down. I would say that you do have some small, it's not small, very big. There we go. What's going on with my computer? Here we go. The consortium of new investors include great firm, Silver Lake. Silver Lake was actually started by a really smart guy named Roger McNamee, who's just been brilliant in terms of tech investing. You also have cloud computing firm, Oracle, remember, go to 76 Research. There's more to learn there. Oracle's a great company that's just been soaring lately. And so you have Susquehanna and General Atlantic, which actually, and KKR, which are actually already invested in ByteDance. So you will have some Americans there. So why does Murdoch have to get in on this? Like, what is that about? Again, Donald Trump saying, we're moving on TikTok. We're going to find a buyer. It's coming out in just a few days. And I guess Fox is going to be one of them.
Sign a deal on TikTok, and
we're moving along. We have great American patriots that are buying it. Very substantial people that love our country, and they're very smart technologically, and they will not let anything bad happen to TikTok.
On the 7th seat, sir, will there be an American on that 7th seat on the TikTok board? There's 6 seats for Americans. What nationality will that 7th seat be?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to announce that over the next week.
So he is saying that Fox News is going to be one of the buyers. And again, I would just say, why is that not good for MAGA? I would remind you what happened after J6. I would remind you that as much as they're rah-rah Charlie Kirk right now, and I hate to judge up the past, but look, I mean, they were not exactly Charlie Kirk fans when Charlie Kirk went to Salem Media, which actually sells the advertisements in my show as well. They were not very nice to him, and they actually kept him off the air for like 3 years. And they also didn't like that he was so pro-Trump. It's like they were trying to do everything that they could, and then they suddenly realized they were plunging in the ratings to the point where Newsmax had totally taken them on, and Newsmax was just defeating them in ways that they never thought possible because they were not really in touch with the base. They did not want Donald Trump to win. I remember when I was there and we'd get these edicts, you can't put Trump on the air right now. Yeah, I mean, really, like, we don't want the president on the air right now. He's been on the air too much right now. Or I remember one quite specifically with Mike Pence, because I wanted to go and interview Mike Pence on location and had been invited to do so. And I was told, no, we don't want Mike Pence. This is before the J6 stuff. We don't want Mike Pence on the air. And this was sort of like this blockade. They were trying to like ice him out. And so just know that happens, okay? Like, we're all big boys here. It's just business. That happens. And my concern is if they're controlling so much of the conservative media, whether it be through the Wall Street Journal, which is really negative on Donald Trump, just read the headlines any day, if they're to control or have a controlling share in TikTok, a very popular social media platform, and then on top of that, they own the largest conservative network, do you run certain risks that, if you don't have a Donald Trump, listen, Donald Trump could transcend all of that because he's just bigger than life in terms of his personality. But I'm not saying that everybody who comes along in the future will. So you may be back in a situation where you got to have effectively the ring getting kissed, right? because maybe you can't actually get elected without the TikTok Murdoch family, without the Fox News Murdoch family, without the Wall Street Journal Murdoch family. And so my question would be, does this need to be looked at from a regulatory standpoint in that you're coming up with some kind of monopoly on conservative media? It's a real concern. I mean, if they buy TikTok and then they got everything else, again, they're talking about just a portion of it right now, they're going to have a very, very big footprint. And let's face it, they don't have the stomach to talk about some of the things that we need to talk about. Case in point, Trish Regan, right? Reminding you all back in March of 2020 that we really shouldn't have been shutting down the entire country, and that what was the left going to do? Exactly what the left did. They politicized everything. Everything. I mean, I knew people on the left that were like, I'm not going to get a vaccine shot if it comes out under Donald Trump. And then like when it came out and Biden was in office, they were like, hit me again, hit me again, hit me again. Can I get 3? Can I get 4? Like suddenly it was like, by the way, those are people I know, but that wasn't just people I know. I mean, you had Nancy Pelosi saying these things. So it was so heavily politicized. I did bring this to everyone's attention, as did Charlie, by the way. I think Hannity did as well, but they said, bye-bye, Trish. Fine. It all worked out for the best. I'm very happy over here. You guys know that. It actually worked out amazingly for the best. So no ill will. It was just business. Fine. But be aware of that, okay? Be aware that they got rid of Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson was saying things about J6 that they didn't want to hear and that some people were getting upset about, including one, Chuck Schumer, who was calling on Murdoch. And then there was that lawsuit, right, with Dominion, et cetera. So they've had their share of issues. And so my concern is we just need to make sure that we have lots of wealth to go around, okay? I love the independent creation thing. By the way, they're the ones that now sell Tucker Carlson's show. Did you realize that? Because he's got a company. It's not his company, somebody else's company. That's a sales team called Red Seat Ventures. And they are the ones that sell the ads into Tucker's show. And Red Seat Ventures was just bought by Fox. I think they sell Megan's show too. And some of my other friends, Judge Knapp, who used to be at Fox. I mean, it's like mind-blowing. This is so darn incestuous. This is why it's so important to me to stay independent and to build out my own platform here. So thank you for all you guys do. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, all of that, because I think it's really important that we remember just exactly what has happened in the past. And they did. They took Charlie off the air for like 3 years. And I know everybody gets amnesia and we all want to move on from those things and don't really want to talk about it, but it happened, okay? And they're going after Trump on a daily basis in the Wall Street Journal in a really negative way. And it's just somewhat telling.